Hi, hi, hi. What it do? What it do? Let me put my headphones on. I don't know why I started without them, but hi, hi. How you guys doing tonight? This is TDT, host of Boxing Fan Talks TV, and coming at you with some news, some relevant news that I want to discuss, and probably talk about some old stuff. I think I'm gonna do the old stuff at the end. I was gonna talk about it at the beginning, but because it's on my mind, but I'm gonna go ahead and wait to the end. So, what I want to talk to you about is the mess, as you saw my caption, the mess that T.O. finds himself in. So, I made some notes so I don't be rambling all around. Don't know where I'm gonna put this book though. So, the IBF ruled yesterday that Triller got to have the undisputed fight between Teofimo Lopez and George Cambosa in a location that is not mandated by quarantine. Let me repeat: the IBF rule that Triller has got to find another place for Teofimo and George Cambosa to fight that is not mandated by quarantine. Okay. So I'm gonna apologize now for looking down because, like, I wrote some notes down. So it said they ruled Monday that they got to have the undisputed fight, and that's what they called it, the undisputed fight between Teofimo and George Cambosa in a location that don't require quarantine. Um, Triller had tried to reschedule the original fight that they were supposed to have was June 19th, so they rescheduled it to October 17th this year in Sydney, Australia. And so with the IBF ruling, that fight is now scrapped because Sydney, Australia has a mandated quarantine days. And that's why Teofimo was opposed to going to Australia. Not because he was scared, but because how they have to how they are responding actually to the quarantine or the COVID situation. You know, you have to stay quarantined for like 14 days. They may have other rules and stuff that he don't like, but I mean, I don't blame him. I don't want to go down there and sit somewhere for 14 days. And what this quarantine in Australia mean? Do you get to go to a nice hotel, or you in something that, like how they quarantine animals and shit? I don't really know. Um, so like I said, the original date was June 19th, 2021 in Miami, and Teofimo came down with the Rona. Question mark, question mark, question mark. We don't know if he had Rona. We question it because it was just all of a sudden too convenient, or we don't know. But anyway, um, if he went to Australia, like I said, he would have to be under some kind of government mandated quarantine for 14 days at the minimum. And that's why Teofimo contemplated relinquishing his IBF belt. Not because he was scared, because that's what we was all saying, right? Like what's going on? Or we were also saying that he didn't sell out in Miami. He didn't they didn't make enough money. Now that part confused me because if Teal really didn't have corona and they didn't sell out, I wouldn't give a care because look how much money they was paying him. I'll take that money and go back to fighting on free TV because once you got that money, you're a millionaire. You good. If you know how to budget your money, you would have never had to fight again. I mean, I know $3 million is very low, um, relatively speaking, compared to, let's say, with people like Pacquiao or Spence, or even when Floyd was fighting, Floyd was guaranteed like $40 million purses, and $3 million is a drop in the bucket compared to that. I get it, but $3 million, especially to somebody who ain't never had it, that's a lot. Give me $3 million, I'll live good for the rest of my life. I can promise you that. So, that was the case. And Lopez actually wants the fight to take place earlier than October 17th. And that's what he's vying for, for them to do the fight a little bit more quicker than October 17th. Um, but the IBF is still going to use October 17th as a deadline. What's up, Hustler Slim? Salute. Dropping into the show to, dropping in to show me love. Thank you, Hustler Slim. But so, the IBF is saying that the October 17th date is going to stay as a deadline. Like the fight has to happen by that time. They also saying that the contracts have to be signed by August 24th of this year. So it's going to be some consequences and repercussions if none of this stuff take place. But like I said, I don't think T.O. deciding that he wants to give up his IBF belt was um, about nothing. I wouldn't want to go to another country and sit in quarantine for 14 days or more just to have a fight when I don't have to sit in quarantine here. So I don't know if that's a good enough reason or whatever to not do the fight. But I know how I feel personally. So I can't knock T.O. for that. But the contract's got to be signed by August 24th, like I said, 2021. And that's per the IBF. Now, I guess the other belts or the other sanctioning bodies are not putting requirements on Teofimo like IBF is. So also the Triller's co-founder is exploring other options. Right now he's sizing up Vegas. Maybe Vegas will be the spot where they'll fight. He's looking into it, but that's not a for sure thing. He could go to New York and go back there. So I don't know where they're gonna wind up doing this fight, but it looks like the fight is gonna happen in America. But the reason why they have to be Triller is taking their time and trying to get everything right because they don't want to inconvenience Camboso. He's innocent in this. He's been away from his family for like 16 weeks now. Um, and his wife is expecting, or her baby is due, I think in September. And so he wants to be there for the birth of his child. So I'm sure he wants the fight to happen a lot sooner than October 17th. And all I can say is pick a weekend. Pick any weekend. What's up, Drew Titan in the building? Salute. Um, Pick any weekend that you want to have a fight between here and September. Because I think out of courtesy, they should get it over with so George can get back home to see the birth of his child. Now, if Triller doesn't make this happen, like if those guys don't sign that contract by August 24th, because that's the deadline. The fight deadline got to be October 17th, but the deadline to sign the contract is August 24th. And if that doesn't happen, it goes to the next highest bidder, when they bid against the fight back in February. And the next highest bidder is none other than Eddie Hearn. So that's the bid that they, when they bid it on the fight back in February, it was Triller, and then it was Eddie Hearn, and then it was Bob Arum. So it goes to the next highest bidder, and Eddie Hearn bid three 3,506,000. You know, so that's the pay will be a little bit lower. I guess they'll split that, or maybe T.O. having all the belts, he can get the lion's share of that. But Bob was a lot lower than that. And Bob was like around 2,315,000. So, but that's what's gonna happen if they don't get this contract signed. And so whatever Triller bid was 6 million. Now what if Cambosa quit? What if Cambosa said this shit ain't worth it? I'm tired of waiting on y'all. Y'all take it too long. I'm out of here. Nothing is gonna make me miss the birth of my child. Then the IBF is gonna order that Teofimo fight Isaac Cruz as a new challenger. Now I've been yapping about this guy Isaac Cruz. And Fred can tell you I'm on the show like, what about Isaac Cruz? And everybody's like, shut up. What are you talking about, Isaac Cruz? Uh, I don't know much about this guy. I don't work for this guy, but I can tell you I've seen him fight, and I like how he fight. I like how he get down. He's relentless. And like I said, the theme of this era to me seems to be whoever's the relentless fighter, they always come up winning. Um, it doesn't matter what match, what weight class. I'm gonna name some relentless fighters. Errol Spence. Errol Spence is relentless. It doesn't matter what you do to him, he keeps coming. and and when you're relentless, you break the will of somebody easily. So this guy Isaac Cruz, if y'all have not seen him fight, y'all should go check out his fights. He's like he's a power puncher and he knows it, but he likes to brawl. He can box a little. And he's one of the people, I don't care what you do, I'm coming for you. He hits hard and he gets his opponents up out of there. And I was saying for the longest time, if nobody's gonna fight Devin Haney, because he's in the 135 weight class, he's in their weight classes, then why not fight him? Drew Titan said he and Tank have similar styles. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I would say what's different, Drew. It seemed like Tank nowadays take a little bit of time to get some data on his opponents to fit. It seemed like he's really strategizing in there or trying to set traps or really trying to come up with a strategy that's like overpowering to his opponent. Whereas Isaac Cruz is just raw. Tank was raw like that before, so it's gonna take some maturity on Isaac Cruz' part. But he's raw. All he know is how to come at you swinging and everything. He got bad intentions when he swings. So I'm sorry, my phone. I keep doing that. Turn this thing off because otherwise it'll make that sound. So I've been bigging up Isaac Cruz for a minute. Drew said most deaf Tank is selective now. Yeah, he is. And he got Floyd in his ear. Or I don't know, maybe Floyd is teaching him how to be that, like for longevity. But I like the old Tank. Just come at you and start swinging. See what the person got. I really like how Isaac fights. Now I will say anybody who fights Isaac has to beware of his head because he uses that too. So not only is he using his hands, he uses his head. Not all the time because he's never really losing. But I did see a fight or two where somebody was giving him a little competition and he started using his head, you know. But a person who is a boxer, a pure boxer, could probably give him trouble. And that's why I wanted to see him and Devin Haney fight. That's why. That's the only reason. So, because I think dude is flat footed a little bit. I don't think he can handle somebody who's moving and on their toes and can really, really box. So that'll be a good matchup. I wonder what T.O. could do. I wonder what he could do. Because T.O. can punch. That's gotta give him credit. He can punch. And T.O. knows how to box. So Isaac Cruz, T.O., that would be a good match. I ain't mad at it. You said with good reasons, huh? Um So originally, when they had moved the fight, they was trying to move. I'm talking about T.O. and George Cambosa. They was trying to move it to August 14th. Well, we are upon August 14th now. So that of course fell through, I guess. And T.O. What I got? Of course, T.O. rejected it. Trilla has lost. So okay, T.O. rejected what Trilla wanted to do, right? So Trilla is out of $5 million. But we're gonna have to chalk it up to a learning curve. I guess they're new to boxing, but they shouldn't be new to business. But because of the commitments that you have to verify and certify beforehand, then Triller was out of $5 million. What's good, Lou Dub? Nothing much. I'm just on here trying to turn two. So um Triller is already out of $5 million. The first bid was for six. So I think And I think I heard somewhere where they gave Teofimo like a down payment, like 1 million or something. So Triller is already out of the money that they bid it for, but they're stuck. They're stuck. You know, they're stuck with it. And if they can't get this fight made by August 24th, they lose their bid, and therefore lose the money that they can't recoup the money that they already shelled out. They can't. And even if they had a fight, if don't nobody come to the fight or pay to see the fight, they still lost money. So I mean, they'll do it better the next time. That's all I can say about that. But my question is, do y'all still think T.O. was wrong? I mean, a lot of people gave him grief for how he been moving in these streets. But do y'all think he's wrong for what he did? Because apparently he did catch Rona. I mean, I don't have no confirmation, but it's if he did not catch Rona, wouldn't you think Triller would know? And Triller is upset. They're not happy with how things are rolling right now. So if you costing me money, because even with them being out of the $5 million, guess what? When that fight happened, they still have to pay Teofimo, regardless. They still have to pay uh George Cambosa, regardless. So T.O. couldn't have been lying, because if I was a business person and you cost me $5 million and ain't no guarantee we're gonna have a fight, guess what? I'm gonna get you for everything I can get you. I'm gonna expose you. I'm gonna do everything. I'm gonna be upset. So therefore, if you didn't have corona, I'm gonna because I don't want to be holding the bag. I'm gonna expose you so you get caught holding the bag. Lou Dub Boxing said Teofimo not wrong for trying to get the bag, but it's crazy how he lost so much momentum off the Loma win. Yeah, he did. He did. I'm beginning to think though, Lou Dub, that he actually had corona. I'm beginning because again, at Triller, that's a lot of money, and that's easy to find out. Like they have the right and the money to find out if Teofimo lied or not, and they are not coming out saying they lied. The IBF does not seem like they're trying to punish Tio. It seems like they're working with Tio. Tio doesn't want to go to Australia because he don't want to sit in some quarantine box for 14 days or more, whatever their rules are. Coming and going from the country. He don't want to go through all that. So that's why he didn't want to go there now, and he was willing to give up a sanctioning body belt, the IBF, just not to do it. But he did cost Triller money, and Triller could, like I said, I don't know what kind of suing he could do. Could he sue Bob Arum? Could he sue? Could he have it so like for the next 3 fights that Teofimo have, he got to pay that money back. I don't know what Triller can do, but $5 million is a lot of money to be out. And if you did that to me, I'm trying to find out, did you really have corona? Because if you didn't have corona, then why the hell we didn't have this fight June 19th? That's what I'll be going after. But apparently Triller can't do that. So that's what makes me think that Teofimo actually had corona. What y'all think? Y'all think he actually had corona? So Teofimo's purse was going to be 3,912,000. So, and Bob was only paying him 1.2 million. So, um, that I know that when they restructured their contract, him and Bob Arum, Bob got to pay him more than 1.2 million dollars. I don't know what they agreed to. Maybe they got like a Terrence Crawford kind of deal. Which I think about that, because that's what happened. So is T.O. winning? Is he in a mess? Did he create a mess? Is he winning? I don't know. I think he winning just a little bit. If you can call it, everything is falling the way he wanted to fall it. If he had corona, sorry for it. But everything is happening the way he wanted it to happen. So, and I don't think Teofimo would be scared to fight Isaac Cruz. Like I said, all it takes is a person who know how to really, really box and got a little pop on their hand. you can handle Isaac Cruz, but if you can't hit him hard, and that pressure that dude put on you, ooh, it'll be a good fight. It'll be a good fight. So kudos to Teofimo for getting things the way he want. He did it his way. Huh? He did it his way. So meanwhile, Lomachenko, who wants Tio to run that back, is already talking behind the scenes, trying to get his fight with Richard Coleman. And they want to do it around December 11th, 2021 at Madison Square Garden. That's what the talks are behind the scene. And the co-main event is going to be somebody named Edgar Berlanga, possibly being the co-main. Now I heard around, that is that guy at that level where he could be a co-main event. I don't know. I really don't know that particular fighter. I've heard of him. I haven't really watched his fights. But Lomachenko, he wants his belts back. He wants his belts back. So when we was hearing that Lomachenko and T.O. was gonna do the rematch in October, that was hearsay. It turned out to not be true. If Loma is in the backgrounds talking about having a fight with Richard Coleman, then he could have never been, talking about him and Teofimo. That's what I think. I know that Loma wants that belt back, so it's anything possible. But obviously, he's not going to get that. If I was T.O., I wouldn't fight him. But Loma actually, what they're saying is he had surgery after the Teofimo fight too. So I guess he really did have a shoulder injury, and but still, to me, that's making excuses. He had a shoulder injury, a rotator cuff, kind of sound like Pacquiao and Floyd, and so he could not fight. Um, he cannot be as effective in the fight with Teofimo because his shoulder injury, and I just don't believe that. I don't believe that. If he got a shoulder injury, it could have happened in that fight because, again, did he mention it before the fight? Not that we knew. As far as we knew, he was gonna watch T.O., right? Cause he the Matrix. Mm-mm. He lost fair and square. T.O. whooped his ass, and he was crying. He's been crying wolf with this shoulder injury and all that. Like I said, he might have had the surgery, but he never offered proof. Not that I saw. It's neither here or there. He need to go on with his life, and I guess he gonna fight Richard Comey, and he need to worry about that person in front of him. I don't know. I don't know what y'all think about Richard Coleman and Lomachenko fighting. Like, who you think win? Who you think got it in there? Yeah, nobody think then. Well, I mean, we have to see December 11th. I know Drew, you up there in New York. You'll get to see that. That'll be interesting. And Bob has a thing for scheduling fights the same night as the Heisman Trophy ceremony. You think Loma stops him? Hmm. I haven't seen many fights of Richard Comey. I only saw the one that T.O. fought him, and he got caught with a shot. It could happen to anybody, but I don't know him well enough to know can he be a force to be reckoned with from what people say he is. But you think Loma stops him? Isn't he like way taller than Loma and stuff? I don't know. He seems like he'll be a bigger person. But yeah, the fight is gonna happen with Loma and Richard Comey right at following the Heisman Trophy ceremony. Now I don't watch those things. I really don't watch football. I used to like football when I was young. I actually used to play with my brothers and them. But as I got older, I don't really watch it. Loma's movement would give him problems until somebody hit Loma hard. That's what I think. That's what I think happened with him and Tio. I think Tio could pivot with him. Loma tried the angles like Pacquiao tried with Floyd, and Tio could keep up with those angles and him moving side to side. And I think Tio hit him hard, and he had to think about that. He had to think about that reckless stuff he was doing. I mean, it's pretty when it works, but it's really reckless in my opinion. But Loma, he uses his feet, and that's what you should do as a boxer. He is what I would call a pure boxer and all that. But I don't know. I'm sure Comey is gonna hit him at least once. And from what I hear, Comey has a hard punch. So we'll see. But yeah, but that's all. I mean, that's interesting. Like as far as about what's going on with Teofimo Lopez, um, seemed like he won. Which I think he won. I think he got things the way he wanted it, and I can't be mad at him because we always talk about boxing is a business, right? And these fighters got to understand and know the business of boxing, you know, as well as what they're gonna do in the ring. We when we talked about what's his name, Lionel Thompson, and I keep bringing him up because I really think I want things to change. He fights under TMT, and he got a payday of 7,500, and he said as much on Barbershop Conversations when Fred interviewed him, and my mouth just dropped. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that a fighter would get paid so low, and of all the people to pay him low, I would never expect it to be under TMT. Never. Lord don't do anything cheap. I guess except pay his fighters, and that is not cool. Dude was putting on a security guard outfit, and nothing wrong with that job, but it's the fact that he's a fighter and he has to work. He has to work like that, and those type job. A lot of my family members do that type of job, and it's not always a secure position to have or secure. They flow from place to place to place. The turnover in those jobs is tremendous, and if it's like that in Virginia, I'm sure it's like that everywhere. So he's going to one of those type jobs. They probably more flexible with him as well. Um, but people don't really stay at those jobs. I don't know if you will ever find somebody who's been there for 30 some years and about to retire. Like you never see that. So the fact that he has to hold down a job and stay in shape and be fighting ready to get in the ring with whomever they throw at him, and then he comes home with 7,500, and then he has to pay his corner people and his trainer, and God knows who else. And Uncle Sam gonna get that cut. So dude might even be just walking home with like a couple of thousand. What's that gonna do? Take care of 1 month of rent, food, and electric bill and phone bill. 'Cause that's all it's gonna do. Couple of thousand won't do shit up in my house. So I know it won't do nothing, for other people as well. So, and that's what you get for fighting. So I hear that story, and then I think about what Teofimo did, and I'm not upset. I'm not upset at all because we always keep saying, y'all, this is a business. Y'all got to mind the business part of it. So if you're not gonna mind the business part of it, you might as well, get out the sport because the business will ruin you if you let it. If you're not paying attention. But Teofimo is paying attention. He betted on himself. He got the purse bid. Unfortunately, he came down with corona. I'm gonna say he had it because Triller ain't saying that he didn't. And it seems to me with $5 million lost, they would have did some investigative, reporting or something. They'd have looked into it, and so I'm sure they looked into it, found nothing, and then Triller was like, "Well, fuck you, then we're gonna take it to Australia." And Tia was like, "No, I don't want to go down there." So why you don't want to go down there? Well, they got some crazy mandated quarantine rules. I don't feel like going through all that shit. We don't give a fuck about what you feel like going. Your ass is going down there. And TLFema was like, well, fuck y'all. Take the IBF belt too. Y'all all can kiss my ass. And then the IBF comes back with, whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. We can fix this. We can rectify this. Triller, you have that contract signed by August 24th. Your deadline to have a fight is October 17th. make it happen. Make it do what it do. Turn two. That's what IBF told Triller. Turn two. And if you don't turn two, means put in that work, then we're gonna give the bid to the next highest bidder, which is Eddie Hearn. And Eddie Hearn can do it with the snap of a finger, I'm sure. But that's pretty much how that soap opera played out. And like I said, they looking for a replacement venue. They can go to the Barclays. If I was Teofimo, I would stay on the East Coast. They can go to the Barclays. I don't know if they can go to Atlanta because ATL is like Tankstown now. But where else? You can't go wrong going to Vegas. Don't go to Minneapolis. Not after the FBI fiasco this past weekend. Don't ever go there. Um, I'm not sure where else do they have boxing matches except California, Vegas, New York, and Atlanta. But I would go to the Barclay. You can't go wrong there. Barclay, Madison Square Garden, where I would go to New York or Vegas. They're the only two places that I would want to fight if I was T.O. But it's not gonna be up to him. It's gonna be up to the Triller co-founder. I think his last name is like Kevin. I don't know. I have to look up his name again. But he's on the lookout for where he can put this fight. It can't be that hard. It can't be that hard. So shout outs to Teofimo. Yeah, you have found yourself. You started a mess, and you was deep in the mess, and I guess you cleaning yourself out the mess with the help of the IBF sanctioning body. So shout outs to you for betting on yourself. And whenever they reschedule this fight, please make it happen. Don't back up. Don't back out. Cambosa too. Please, everybody stay healthy. Make sure this fight goes down and get it over with, so this man George Cambosa can go home and see his third child be born and be with his family. Man, he is the actual innocent victim in all of this. Because he wasn't trying to leverage nothing. He just signed the contract. Yeah, I'll fight you, and that was that for him. And that's how it should be. All these fighters need to put shit on easy and fight the fight. If you talk the talk, walk the walk. Stop making shit complicated. Put it on easy. You know what I'm saying? So that's the latest with the Tio Lopez and George Cambosa. The IBF kind of bailed them out. So kudos to all of them. Hopefully benefits. The only person who's probably gonna lose out mostly is Triller. But you'll know for the next time. You got plenty of times to get it right. So that was your first time. It's a learning curve. So I want to move on from that and talk about Keith Thurman. Okay. We know the last time Keith Thurman fought was in 2019. He fought Josecito Lopez and he fought Pacquiao. And when he fought Josecito Lopez, everybody said, "Oh, I know he's declining because look what Josecito was able to do." We all know that Keith has a sensitive stomach, and I'm gonna tell y'all why in a minute. But he has a sensitive stomach, and Josecito seemed like he rocked him a couple of times. But Josecito does that to everybody. He's one of them people that you underestimate all the time. Like if you think about it, Josecito Lopez was fighting at a lower weight, and then all of a sudden, I can't remember if it was Maidana or Victor Ortiz. He got an opportunity to fight at a higher weight, in welterweight, and he was shocking. He actually performed well, and he's a dog. Josecito is a dog in the fight. If you get in the fight with him, you better come prepared. He doesn't look like he can rock you, but it's that motherfucker can rock. And he shows that every time that he gets in the fight. So when he hurt Keith, I wasn't shocked at all. And it was supposed to be much. Keith supposedly have fight much better opponents way before Josecito, and they weren't able to rock him like Josecito did. So we looked at it like, he's falling off. And then he fought Pacquiao. Now we know Pacquiao won, but I thought Keith did well. And I don't know how I would have scored the fight if he never got knocked down. Because once he got knocked down, I already knew Pacquiao won. Unless he knocked Pacquiao out, Keith was not gonna win that fight. They're not gonna let Pacquiao lose to him. I already knew that. But he fought him well. I even think Broner fought Pacquiao well. So that wasn't a shock to me either. But then Keith, you do a layoff and you disappear for like 2 years, and nobody knows if you really want to be a fighter or if you don't. So, I always thought I chalked it up to life happens. Keith is married, he got a baby on the way. He's all domesticated now. He has issues with weight. And when I said I was gonna come back to that, that's what it is. Weight and injuries. So I do believe the injuries I understand. You've been fighting for 14 years. You never took time out to address the many injuries that you have. So you figured, fuck it, I'll do it now. And you caught grief for it, but that's the way boxing is. You can't be off too long, even though it's really in your best interest to take time to recoup and heal from injuries that you have. But that's what he did. Now the weight issue. I know for a fact I met Keith Thurman before. Again, I met a lot of boxers when I went to the Pacquiao Floyd fight. Keith Thurman was in the food court. Then the fight was over. I went back to my room. First, I tried to gamble, and everything was expensive the night of the fight. So normally, if you get on the blackjack tables, it's like $25. On the night of the fight, that shit is $100. So I was walk my ass right over to them quarter slots. Cha-ching, cha-ching, hoping I hit. So I sat there after the fight for about an hour. And then my homegirl that came to the fight with me, she just went straight to her room. So I sat there and played um quarter slot machines. Then I went up to my room. I couldn't really rest or sleep. My daughter called me. So now I'm up. So I was like, let me go back downstairs. I go downstairs and guess who walks in front of me? Juan Manuel Marquez. But he walking so goddamn fast. I was like, can a person walk that fast? He had his own entourage. I bullshit you not. He had people following him, walking as fast as he was walking, with a camera on him and lights. And I'm telling you, dude was walking fast. There was no fucking way I could have kept up with him. I thought he was jogging, but he was walking. He was walking that fast, and I was like, trying to get his attention, and I couldn't. So I went over to the food court, and there I see out the corner of my eye somebody gobbling down a large ass pizza. Now this pizza was bigger than the damn table. It was huge, like one of them. I don't know. I don't even know who make pizza that big, but it was bigger than the table he was sitting at. So when he sat, I saw him when he sat down and started eating. And I'm looking, and there's a couple of people just, like next to him and shit. I think he was there with a date or something. I'm waiting to see these people eat with him. They sat on the table next to him because, like I said, that pizza took up a whole table. And and you can look, I looked over and I could see that they was eating, but he was eating that pizza by himself. When I tell you that damn pizza was so goddamn big, I think anybody who would eat that pizza would throw up and be in the bathroom like for the rest of the night. I didn't even know a human being could eat that goddamn much. Now you talking about Keith one time Thurman, who's one welterweight, 147. And he usually is good about making his weight. When I saw that, I was like, what? Now that particular night he wasn't 147, but he wasn't huge neither. He was like a regular dude, like I'm gonna give him probably about 160 maybe, maybe more. But he wasn't 200 and so he wasn't fat. I ain't calling him fat or nothing, but he could put it away. So he ate that whole piece and I watched him because I made my order and it took a minute. I ordered a Philly cheese steak sandwich and he had that pizza. So I was like, when I get my sandwich, I'm gonna walk over there and introduce myself, whatever. And I was all nervous because that whole weekend I was meeting nothing but like boxers. I met what's y'all boy name that played football that was winning all the time. That had the ball gate or whatever the hell they call it. The football when he deflated the ball, deflate gate. Whatever that dude name is. I met him too. And when I came home, everybody was like, why didn't you get, you know, an autograph or pictures? I'm like, because I don't watch football. And he's all right, just a regular person. But I met him coming off of an interview on one of them little areas where you could walk on. They got the background behind it. Anywho, back to the Keith story. So Keith is devouring this goddamn piece. I'm telling you, to this day, I have not seen a pizza that goddamn big. Maybe in New York they make pizzas that big. And I done been all over the world. I'm telling you, I done been everywhere. I done been all over the East. I done been all over Europe. I done been to Russia. I done been to Hong Kong. I done been everywhere. And of course, when I get there, I always want to eat what we normally eat here. So I'm the person who will order a burger. I'm not eating on their economy because I don't know what the fuck they put in their food. But I order a pizza because a pizza is a pizza. And I'm telling you, I have never seen a pizza this big. New York have big pizzas to me. Probably Chicago probably do too. I've never eaten a pizza in Chicago. But when I went to New York, I got a slice and that's all I can handle. I couldn't even eat the whole thing. But when I tell you Keith can throw down eating, baby, when I tell you, whew, and he ate that pizza. So you would think that's it, right? Mm-mm. I hadn't worked up the nerves to go over there and say hi. So I'm standing there waiting for my order to come through. They call the order before me, but it's the same order. So at first I thought it was my order because it's a Philly cheesesteak, and of course I'm walking up there, but they call a number, and I never did look at the number on my receipt. Here come Keith from behind my shoulder, and he gets his steak sandwich. And Keith, this a big ass steak sandwich. You gotta cut this bitch in half. I guess you can get a big one, or you can get a regular, or they come in different sizes. I think I got like whatever the normal regular is. His steak sandwich was huge, and Keith put it up. He picked it up, and I was standing there, and I said, "Keith, I've been looking for you all night." And he started laughing. He said, "Oh, I've been looking for you too." He played along. And I said, "Well, can I get a picture?" He said, "Well, let's get one then." He was very nice, very humble guy. We took a picture. And then he said, "No, I don't like that one. Let's do another one." So I got two pictures that I took with him. And I was in my head saying, I know this nigga ain't gonna eat this sandwich after he just ate that big ass piece of pizza. I be damned. Keith went over there and devoured that bitch. And I was like to myself, how can one person eat that much? That's crazy. So, the rumors are he has weight issues, and maybe he does. Keith should probably go do a plant-based diet to get the weight off real quick. I told you I volunteer at a boxing gym, and a lot of boxers are starting to do this. They do plant-based diets because it's the healthiest way to get the weight off, and when it comes off, it don't come back on quick. It's not water weight; it's real weight that falls off you. And what'll happen is your body knows what set weight you're supposed to be at. So whatever set weight that you should be, which is crazy because trainers in boxing, they know what set weight you should be too. That's why they can look at you and say, "Oh, you should fight at 140. Oh, you should fight at 135." They know. I don't know how they know. They could tell. I see it done all the time. They could tell. And so if when you eat a plant-based diet, um, your body will go down to a set weight and you'll just keep dropping weight and you'll drop weight fast. That's the beauty of it. You'll drop weight fast and you won't miss a meal because you're eating a plant-based diet. But that's what Keith if Keith have weight issues, then that's something right there. Because how can he meet his obligation to get in the ring? How can he be confident enough to say, "Hey, I want to fight," if he don't think he can make his weight? Now, from what the rumors also are, is that Keith really want to get his number one position back. But to do that, he's gonna have to go through Earl and he's gonna have to go through Terrence or Terrence and then Earl because Earl is unified. He's gonna have to see those guys. I don't want to see another Keith Thurman, Sean Porter fight. I don't want to see another Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia fight. I want to see Keith fight Earl. I want to see him fight Terrence. I want to see him fight Virgil. I want to see him fight uh, Lipinus. I want to see him fight Jerron Ennis. These are the people I want to see him fight. I don't want to see no repeats with him. But if weight is causing him a problem, then that's relevant. That's relevant right there. And that can happen to anybody. But my little story about Keith Thurman eating, I didn't say it, Keith, and it, to be disrespectful. I saw this with my own eyes, and you know, it's okay. People, we all like to eat, but if you're a fighter fighting at 147, I thought that was amazing. I've never seen anybody who can eat like that. Like who does that and you're not even home? Like I can see if you pulled up at the house and slapped that bad boy on the table, it was like I'm gonna eat this pizza first, then I'm gonna eat this steak sandwich. Cause you right there at the house. You by your toilet, you in your comfort zone. But to be out and about, nowhere near home, eating like that, whether you got your own room in your hotel room or not, that's just crazy to me. Like I was just shocked. But you can always have a weight issue. So maybe he need to go up. He need to go up to 154 or he gonna have to seriously change the way he is. And like people, I said this in my previous video. Not what we won't beat, none of us, whether we're elite fighters or elite athletes or just regular Joe Blow people on the street. None of us is going to beat Father Time. So you grow, 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 grow. You reach a peak and then you descend, descend, descend. Now, in regular life, women grow to about 30 and descend. An elite athlete might have by a couple of, give or take a couple of years. Same thing with men. Men don't start descending right at 30, but in their 30s, give or take a couple of years because they're athletes. But we know that when you get in your like early 30s, between 30 and 33, there's a change. There's a change in you as a person, period. Your reflexes, you might start seeing that they diminish. Your agility might not be the same. Wait till you get to a certain age and you bend down to pick up a pencil or a pen and you throw your back out. Wait till you get to a certain age where your knee is swelled up like somebody hit you in a knee with a jackhammer and you ain't never do nothing. Like you just woke up like that. Wait till that happen. I mean, it's coming. It's coming for all of us. But to these athletes, um, that's why I'm more understanding when an athlete say training time out. I need to address these injuries, and if I got to take off a year or two to make sure that they properly heal, then that's what I'm gonna do. But in the midst of keep taking off that time, he got domesticated, and there's nothing wrong with being domesticated. Keith, nobody is saying there's nothing wrong with that. God bless you, and I'm happy and happy for you. But you chose this boxing world, so if you're gonna be in this boxing world, then you gotta act accordingly. You gotta walk the walk and talk the talk. You gotta say what you mean and mean what you say. And you are coming off, and look, I'm a fan. I'm just a fan, but you are coming off like a liar or a duck. Look, this is what you sound like. This is what they was thinking of you. You was sounding like it, but I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. I won't lie to you and say it don't look like what everybody's saying that you ducked or that you scared or you fell off. But I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. And the reason, if Ryan Garcia and Rolly Romero or Alado is listening, the reason why I can give Teofimo the benefit of the doubt because Teofimo laid down a foundation. Y'all are new in y'all career and already coming with the bullshit. At least he had a foundation. He was unified. I don't think he was undisputed, but he was almost undisputed. I mean, almost don't count. But I think he was a belt away from being undisputed. I can't remember who had the last belt that stopped Keith Thurman from being undisputed. 503 Lion in the building. Thank you. Salute. You know, I can't remember. I for the life of me, do anybody remember what who had the last belt to stop Keith Thurman from being undisputed when he was, at the top of his game? I wish I could remember, but I don't. But it seemed like it was just good enough for him to be unified. He had all the belts. And Ryan Garcia and Rolly Romero, or AKA Alado, y'all don't have that shit. Y'all never had that shit. Y'all careers are just starting. So that's why I can give Keith Thurman the benefit of the doubt. But right now, the PBC doesn't want to take a chance on Keith Thurman. Do y'all think that they right? Because if you take, I guess from their feelings is if you take a chance and put a bid or set a date, Keith is gonna have an injury and back out. And people, when y'all set dates, talking to the fighters out there, the young fighters coming up, when y'all set things in motion, money has exchanged hands with somebody, and people is not partial to eating their money, like just spending money for nothing. So y'all have to think about that when y'all open your mouth and agree to whatever. But remember, you're in a warrior sport. You're like a gladiator. Remember how Tom Cruise said, "There's no crying in baseball. There's no crying in boxing either." And if this is what y'all choose, then stay true to what you choose. So don't start in the beginning of your career messing up. And that's like I said, Keith Thurman didn't do that. He wants his number one position back. This is what he's crying about to everybody. And when I say crying about, he's telling everybody but Santa Claus that he wants his number one position back. And Keith, you may really do want that, but your actions make people doubt that. And that's why you're in the predicament that you're in right now. And you can't guarantee nobody that you're not going to get injured. And we don't know the extent of your injury. We don't know if the doctor looked at your hands and said, you can't fight no more. If he looked at your forearm or whatever, the elbow area where you got the surgery and said, you know what, you can't fight no more. Boxing is out. You never told us. You never broke it down. You never explained to us. So this is why you out here looking crazy. This is why nobody out here taking you seriously. Now I totally get, like I said, if you want to come on here, Drew show, anybody at show, and just sit down and explain what was you thinking or where was your head at when you kept dismissing Earl Spence, because right now you want his attention, but you need to explain yourself so people can understand. When I heard what you were saying, you do that Andre Ward thing, like sometimes you try to talk clever and throw your words around like you're a wordsmith, but no, don't do it. Stay to boxing. You're not bad at it, but just stay with boxing because it'll make you. Once people already have a bad opinion of you, when you start doing that humming shit, that shit don't look right. So just, I heard what you said. Just sit down, like for real, Keith. I'm calling on you to have an interview with somebody. You know, you got Drew Titan out there. You got Barbershop Conversation. You got Black Fight Fan. You got Champ Side. You got Ego. You got a lot of people you could choose from. BFTV. You gotta be brave to go on there. VFTV. That's my boy though. I watch him every day. But pick somebody, sit down, and don't talk with a high pitched voice. If I can give some kind of constructive criticism, because you talk like, don't do that. You know, it's hard for somebody to take you seriously. Sit down very calmly with the bass in your voice and just tell what you was thinking or what you were trying to do. Because when I heard it, when you tried to explain it, and I think you was talking to Fight Hype, I totally understood what you were saying. But a lot of people might not have understood or care, you know. So you got to pick one legitimate source or place to sit down. I'm calling on you, Keith, to do it because I want to see you attempt to come back and get your number one position. But you got a lot of competition in your weight division. So I ain't gonna say I want to see you get it back. You know, I do like the best fighting the best, and I consider you one of the best. So I'm pulling for you to come back even stronger. But like, let us know where your head was. Let us know the extent of your injuries. Like, how bad was it? You know, because like I said, if I was fighting for 14 years and never took time off, at what point do a fighter just take time off for them and let their body all the way heal? So I understood exactly, you know, what you were doing, why you was doing it. It made sense to me. So 503 said it's over for Keith if he don't fight. Number one, the fuck the young boys like Ennis or Virgil. Yeah, there's Ennis and there's Virgil, but I do think he need a warm up 503. He been out the ring for a minute. He need to get back in the swing of things. But I first want to see him do a real sit down interview. Keith, would you do a real sit down interview? Remember me, Keith? You probably don't. 2015, I met you at the food court. You are a big eater. Like I give it to you. You a big eater. You was your size did not match what you can eat, but damn, you know, but like I said, Keith, for real, if you listening, and like I said, I volunteer at a boxing gym. I'm training to be a trainer or a coach. I'm learning, you know, learning how to do that. I got some good guys teaching me, and I'm going to take a test, you know, so I can get my license to do it. So I'm not pulling this out my ass when I tell you, fighters, plant based is the way to go. Since y'all in the business of trying to drop weight fast, plant based is your surefire bet. Now you can either eat it or you can drink it. But sometimes, like when you said, you could juice, you know, it's a turnoff. I can tell y'all right now, ain't no shame in my game. I'm juicing because in the pandemic couldn't go nowhere, and you know, of course, my ass ballooned up, and I need to get this the hell up off me, you know. So, um, I'm a person that 26 years ago I had thyroid cancer. The Navy is never going to say that they gave it to me. Nobody's going to take credit for giving that to me. But out the blue, I just get thyroid cancer, and they removed my thyroid. So I haven't had a thyroid gland for like 25 years. So that means um, you guys who get yourself on a routine of trying to be healthy and fit and all that stuff, like I couldn't do. Like it didn't work for me. And I promise you, I tried. Like I'm a person that when I get going, I can work out 5 hours a day. It's no problem. I'm retired military, so you got to know there. And but I don't have any metabolism. I don't make metabolism, so I'm already at a deficit. I'm already at a deficit. So I'm gonna tell you the one and only thing, because trust me, I've tried everything. I was in shape. I was 5'10". Before I had thyroid cancer, they pulled that thyroid gland out. I blew up within 6 months. And then I worked hard to get it somewhat down so that I can have a Navy career. I did 20 years in the military. And you know, you got to take height, weight, physical fitness too. So, I mean, I'm just telling you, I know for a fact. And I didn't learn this stuff until after I retired and I was volunteering at the boxing gym. I see a lot of guys that got to drop weight fast. And one day I'm gonna do a show about it. But I just started back on my journey with the drinking of the juice, and so in a couple of weeks, you guys will see. I, I'm not gonna talk too much about it because I don't want to jinx myself. Every day is a struggle. I just stay with it, and I just drink my juice. So I'm not missing a meal. Sometimes I eat a salad, and I do cheat. I got crackers. I got what's them shits. Who eats those Werther's caramel, the soft ones? All them shits is life for me right now. I I get like three of them, gobble it down. Sometimes when it get hard, and I was like, man, I got to eat something because you just don't take this the wrong way. You always got to have something in your mouth. When you're used to having something in your mouth, you can't get over that. So, what I'm saying in a nutshell, Keith, if weight is your issue and weight is preventing you from being confident that you can tell somebody you want to fight, start doing a plant based. You're at the age where you should start anyway. Only the young can walk through life never saying they sorry. If that makes sense to you, only young people can do that. Once you get older and 30 and up, yeah, you can't say that. You gotta tighten up. So I'm telling you, I'm at that gym. I see people do it. They will go on a fast for like maybe a week or two before their fight. Like if their fight is this Friday, let's say it's this Friday, they would have started fasting 2 weeks before because that last week, they just coasting. It's real weight. It's not water weight, and it does not come back fast. It would take you just as long as it took you to gain the weight in the first place. It would take you that much. It'll take you the same time to gain it back. So a lot of fighters are doing that now. So Keith, maybe you are not in the know about that, but you should be. I hope you watch this because I'm gonna tell you plant based. And then people say, should I eat it or should I drink it? I'm gonna ask you, what hits the body faster, a shot or a pill? Now you look at it like this: the pill is eating, the shot is drinking. So if you wanted to hit the body quicker and do what it do quicker, you want to drink it. And if you, like I said, you can, and there's no limit to how much you can eat or drink or whatever when you're eating a plant based. So it would definitely give you the courage. If weight is your issue, if what I've been hearing is true, and weight is your issue, go that route. You'll be surprised. Do it for 7 days. You probably drop like 14 pounds in 7 days. I bullshit you not. I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you. I see it happen all the time. And one day I'm gonna do a show about it. Cause seeing is believing. Ain't no sense in nobody talking about some shit. Walk the walk. That's all we can do. So Keith, get on the plant base, get your courage back. We want to see you back in the ring. I want to see you back in the ring. I can't speak for everybody else, but a lot of people is done with you. So we need you to come back because when you was top dog, you was the shit. You was the shit. Um, what else? And you want PBC to have faith in you again. You're gonna have to show them something. Stop talking to the same people. They're not doing you justice. Take a chance. Take a chance. Come to these black social media platforms. Take a motherfucking chance. You're gonna see that you will be better off for it. But that's all I gotta say. I can't make you do anything, Keith. And I respect you, and I hope to see you. I hope you can make a comeback. Because I like you as a fighter. But that's all I have for you guys today. Oh no, no, no. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is why I said I should have did this in the beginning. Alado. Alado. Where are you, Alado? Y'all know who I'm talking about? AKA Rolly Romero. Alado. Where are you, Alado? You was talking a lot of smack and you disappeared. It's like you hibernating. I'm gonna quote Devin Haney again. They say everything, but let's fight. I mean, it's your quote. So you should copyright that and sell some shirts at other people's venues. Because they say everything but let's fight. And that's true when it comes to him. And I said it before, Deontay and him are probably the most two avoided fighters in boxing today. But there's three fighters that I can think of that talk the talk and walk the walk, and that is Earl Spence, Devin Haney, and Deontay Wilder. They in it for the love of the sport. They want to fight. They don't make excuses. They've read it all times, and you gotta respect that. This is why they're gonna be the top echelon fighters. They are because people duck Devin Haney so bad. Alado, this you. Ryan Garcia, this is you. Now, to my understanding, by your own words, Alado, you don't even like Ryan Garcia, Ravina, Ravina Garcia. You don't like him, but y'all one and the same. I never thought it was cute to build your platform or build your name or spruce yourself up on another man's name. That is just crazy. You got a whole name. You're your own man. Why you just can't build yourself up on your own self? But you want to build yourself up by talking about people like Tank, talking about people like Ryan want to talk about Tio. Like he want to talk like he gonna fight somebody or Devin. All of y'all bitches scared of him. And then Jojo Diaz, everybody want to fight for this damn interim belt, but then they don't want to see Devin. That shit is irritating. Like it is irritating as hell. All of y'all bitches are. My sound effects didn't work. Oh, it's gone now. So, um, all of y'all are just bitches, scared to fight little old young Devin Haney. This y'all call him everything but a son of God, but you're scared to fight him. So, okay, again, when I said the reason why I can give Keith Thurman the benefit of the doubt, he didn't start his career like you bitches are. And I gotta call y'all bitches because I don't understand it. You talk negatively about people who are not talking negatively about you. You try to use their name to boost you up. Now, what you want to be? You want to be their opponent or you want to be their bitch? Because I don't think Devin get down like that. But you could try. You can ask him, but I don't think he get down like that. Because you trying to live off his name and shit as if you are his bitch. But I'm just a fan, so I had to say that. Alado, where you at? Where you at, Alado? Find you some business. Boy, have several motherfucking seats. But that's my time today, y'all. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Drew, for stepping in the building. 503 Lion, thank you. Lou Dobb, thank you. And again, hopefully I keep getting better and better and better. Because when you know better, you'll do better. All right. Y'all have a lovely night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.